Hey guys, welcome back. In the last video we got CocoaPods and Alamofire installed. In this one we're going to be making our first call. We're going to finally be writing a little bit of code. We're going to get a response back and see what happens. Remember that we need to use this new file type, which is the workspace. When you install CocoaPods, you can no longer use this Xcode project. You'll have all types of issues. So make sure if you closed it from the last video to open up this file rather than this one, or you'll get some weird errors. It'll be hard to figure out what's going on. So we're going to open up our main folder, go to View Controller. For now, you can get rid of this did receive memory warning. We're not going to worry about it. Delete that out too. And right here, for now, is just where we're going to make our first call. Later, we'll probably what's the word I'm looking for? Compartmentalize. We're going to put them into bigger. We're going to put them into little bite-sized chunks called functions or methods later. Right now, I just want to make our first call. If you're completely new to iOS programming, this viewController.swift, as we call it, is basically controls all the functionality for a single page in the application. The single page being the main page in the application. So if you click on this, the only screen you have here in the main.storyboard here, and click on this tab here, which is the identity expector, you'll see that the class that's associated with this screen is the view controller, which is what it's talking about. So let's use Alamofire for the first time. Let's skip past all this stuff. Let's do intro making a request. That's pretty much all we're going to be using this for. Apparently it doesn't exist. Let's go look at Alamofire's GitHub. GitHub is a place where a lot of the same information is stored. It's technically where it's actually stored. Let's see if I can look at it through here. Okay, I don't know why it didn't work, but this is basically the same information. This is the basic type of request that you can make with this tool. To use it, at the top you have to do this, import Alamofire. So let's do that. Type import, and then sometimes if Xcode is feeling nice, it'll autocomplete for you, but not all the time. If you're wondering what this does, essentially we have all the code for Alamofire in our same folder as the weather. You can actually see it here in pods, but the Xcode doesn't load it in automatically because you might have a bunch of these libraries and you only need bits and pieces of it and bits and pieces of your app. So it doesn't by default just load it in. So this import statement does that for you. And then how about we just do this? This is the most simple. This line right here is the most simple way to make a request, which would work. But we'd have to do extra work to deal with information. This is making a request and asking for a response in JSON. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that this is JSON. So this is actually, this first example that I have is exactly what we need. So if you just go ahead and just copy the whole thing, toss it in here between these two main brackets, right under super.viewDidLoad. What we're going to do is, if you have an account, that example URL that I gave you, just go ahead and copy it. You can copy it, and then you can toss it straight into here. Just like that. And then what would work best, probably be most clear, is delete these first three lines and delete this last line. And then what you can see is that whenever we get a response it's going to try to turn into JSON, and if it does it correctly, then it should print. When it says print, it's not going to be on the phone screen itself. It's going to be here in this bottom, which is called the console. It's a place where you can see general information about how the app is working, and any errors that happen will show up on the bottom here too. So let's just click play right now and hope that it launches. The first time you add a new CocoaPod or library in your application, sometimes it has issue finding it. Sometimes building solves that problem. Looks like right now it is, but I don't want to get excited until it launches. This is part of troubleshooting. Sometimes if it didn't work, what I would do is I would do Command K, which you can see here, Command Shift K, which is clean, and then I would do Command B to build, which kind of like just wipes your project clean and kind of rebuilds everything from scratch and checks for new files and stuff like that. So if it didn't work, that's what I would have done. If it doesn't work for you, that's what I recommend. Command Shift K and Command B to clean and build your project. Right now it's launching weather. It's taking in more time than I'd like, but it's loading up here. Okay, it launched. I don't know why I even went to the screen. It's not going to actually show anything since we don't have anything set up. But once it finishes launching, we should have some information print here if this is getting a correct response back. Wow. Nothing happened. We made the request. It obviously failed. Oh, there you go. Okay, that took a really long time. I was thinking there was like a little loading symbol up here on the top. I wasn't sure if that was simulated being weird or if it was actually taking that long for the app to launch. So it took a while. Took some time to, get this going and for it to build, but we got what we wanted. We got the same information that was returned to us from here, but now it's available on our app. What we essentially have to do next is make it so when we get all this information, we organize the bits that we need, which for this application is just going to be this currently section, and we're gonna pull the information piece by piece and then put it into our application. We'll stop here for now. In the next video, we're going to be breaking down this entire JSON response that we got and only using this one little spot, this one little piece, and then getting the summary, the icon, the time, temperature, and using it the way we want in our application. I'll see you in the next video. We're going to finally get to some coding and learning how to parse JSON responses, which is a huge part of programming, and it's something they're going to be doing all the time. I'll see you in the next video.